Hello and welcome back. I promised you guys that I was going to teach you my favorite marketing tool, Pinterest. And I'm not going to just teach you the basics. I'm going to teach you all the things that I do to make it run so smooth for me and for my business. I create an entire month's worth of pins, sometimes more, sometimes less. But this is going to give you the ability to create a ton of pins, make them pins that people are going to click. Those clicks are going to lead to leads. Leads are going to lead to sales, which is what we all want, right? So buckle up and let's learn Pinterest, all things pins, how I incorporate ChatGPT, and how I use the Tailwind app to just accelerate my pins and my views even more. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide how many pins you want to make. Right now, I'm just going to make 10 to show you how to do this. So you're going to come into Canva, you're going to type in the search bar, you're going to type in Pinterest pin. It's going to come up for me because I use it all the time. And you're going to go through these templates and you're going to pick one that you like enough that you want to recreate and you want to rebrand and make it your own. So we're going to pick this one just because it fits what we're looking for. We're going to click customize this template. We're going to let it open up and then we're going to make it ours. So what are we going to do? Obviously, we're going to put either your business name, your at on Instagram, your at on your stand store, whatever it is that you have, you want to have your name in some form on every single pin that you make. So it's always linked to you. So nobody can come and steal it as their own. You don't want to have it always have it on the bottom. You want to kind of change it up so they have to work for it. If they're going to steal it, you need to make sure they're going to work for it at least. Obviously, you're going to incorporate your brand colors into all of your pins because consistency, flow, you just want it to look good. You want it to always stand out as, oh, that's Heather's. All of those pins are going to make sense because they're going to see all the colors together and they're going to know they belong to you. So I'm going to click that and then I'm going to get rid of that at the bottom and I'm going to move this up. I'm going to color this yellow. You can change the background if you want. You can put a different picture. You would go over here to elements, type in what you want. So let's say elements, working on a laptop. Now, if you have the free version, you can only use ones that do not have this crown in the corner. If it says it's pro, you will not be able to use it. So just to save things, I have pro, so I can use whichever ones I want. But you're just going to grab the picture and you're going to slide it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they make you really work for it. This one I like, so I'm going to click the transparency and dull it down a little bit. I'm going to click this line and I'm going to change the line color to this blue and click change all. Obviously it changed that one and I don't want it to change that one, but I will just change that back to a white. There we go. We're going to leave it like this. We're not done, but we're going to leave it like this for a second. So now we're going to come over here to ChatGPT and we are going to do something fancy with ChatGPT that's going to up your pen game. You're going to have it do something specific for you. You're going to come in here and you're going to put a prompt in. You're going to tell it to act as a Pinterest expert that specializes in creating pin-rich descriptions to help your pins get reach and clicks. Create 10 one-line pin cover titles for a pin that leads back to, and then whatever it is that you're leading it back to. So with me, I'm just going to put leads back to a PLR guide and bundle of 300 PLR products to start their business with. You're going to click enter, and it's going to take a second. It's going to think, and then it's going to spit out your one-line cover titles. So now you're going to come over here to these, highlight them, and you're going to copy them, and you're going to come back over here. Going to go over here to the sidebar in Canva, over here in the menu. And if it's here, you'll click bulk create. If you don't have it, it'll be under apps. You'll click apps and you'll type in bulk create, and it will activate it that way. So you're going to click the bulk create, enter data manually, clear this table, click in it, and paste. Come up here to this top box and just put a name in it. Click done. Click your words. And then these three little dots here that says more, you're going to click that. Go down to connect data. Click your pins. When it pops up there, you're going to click continue. Make sure it generated your 10 designs. Click generate 10 designs. And then it's going to pop open another window where it is now generated 10 designs with those words. So you're just going to briefly skim through it. Like you're going to want to take out the parentheses or anything that it put in it. If it put anything before or after, you want to take that out. So you're just going to go through here and you're going to very quickly take that out. If you want to change the way the text looks, if you want to make the text bigger on some of them, or maybe the words went off of the screen or went out of, say this just kind of went down further, you would want to change the text size, the font size, to put it in it to make it look better. So you're just kind of looking for those little touches that you need. And the cool thing with this is you can do as many of them as you want. So you can do 50 at once. I wouldn't go over 50, especially when you're brand new to this, because you want to, the more you do, it does take a little more time. It can be a little overwhelming when you're brand new starting this, to just make sure you're doing all the steps and that you're going back and looking through all of them, that you haven't missed one, that they look good. So I would start with 10 at first, doing 10 at a time, just so that way you can get the hang of it. Like this, when I took that off, it kind of put it up here out of the way and it didn't look good. So I'm going to move it down so it looks good, because you want to make sure your pins catch attention. They catch the eye of the person that is looking at it. Because if it looks off, they're not going to click it. If you can't make a pin that doesn't have grammar errors, you have a pin that can't even keep the text inside of a box, what kind of product are you leading them to? You have to think about all the things. Sometimes mistakes happen. You're not going to be 100% perfect. I still have some out there where it looked perfect when I had it in here, but when I saved it, for some reason, one of the words went wonky. It's going to happen. Don't let it like overwhelm you, and don't just like, oh my God. Just know mistakes are going to happen. You're going to have things that aren't going to look perfect, but put as much effort into it as you can, and they're going to look good. So now we're going to come up here. We're going to change the name of this, whatever you want. So since I have a ton of these for February already, I just wanted to pick a new name. But what you can do is February pins 1, February pins 2. So you know where you're at. March March pins 1, March pins 2. So you know, okay, I got through all of March pins 1. I can put those in the trash in my little trash can on my computer so I don't try to use them again. So I don't try to pin them again. Click the share button, click download, make sure it's selecting all pages, that it's PNG, and click download. Okay, there we go. So now you have 10 pins. Since you've done this, they're going to be in a zip file. So you're going to come over here and you're going to click them. So that way they unzip. So that way they're easier for you to access when you go into Pinterest. So now you're going to come over to Pinterest. You're going to make sure that you have a business account. If you don't have a business account, it'll just be here under accounts and it'll be under the settings. There'll be an option here for you to switch. It's free. Just switch it over. You want a Pinterest business account because you need to be able to track your analytics. You need to know what's working, what's getting clicks, what's not, where they're coming from, all the things. So I'm going to show you how to pin directly here in Pinterest. And then I'm going to show you Tailwind. Tailwind is what I use for 99% of my pins. I still pin in Pinterest for like 1 or 2 pins a month. The rest go in Tailwind because Pinterest has a limit on how many you can save at once. So you can only have certain amount scheduled in Pinterest at one time. Tailwind, with the paid membership, you can have unlimited. And that's what I like because I like to pin anywhere from 8 to 15 pins a day. That can be a lot. Pinterest can't handle that, but Tailwind can. And there's also something inside Tailwind that I'm going to show you that's going to help you get views as well. So before you start pinning, you need to go back over here to good old ChatGPT and you need to get the descriptions for these pins because every Pinterest pin requires a description for it to show your pin to people, for people to know what the heck it is. Now you can copy and paste from above and just change it to tell it to create 9 titles and descriptions for the pin cover titles above because you want your descriptions and titles to go off of these the 1-line covers that you had it create you. Then you're going to click enter and it's going to spit them out and it's going to match what I gave you earlier. So they go together, but you're making sure it knows to give you rich pins. And I had it create 9. I needed 10. And you just tell it, create one more, and it'll do it. Especially if you do this a lot, it gets used to you. It knows what you want. And if you're just new to this, just know that when you're starting out, you're going to have to ask it a lot of questions. You're going to have to give it a lot of information to help it sound more you. You don't want it to sound like AI. You want it to sound like you. So now we're going to go back over here to Pinterest. We're going to click this little menu up here. And as you can see, this is why you want a business account because you can do conversions, trends, insights, analytics. You can create campaigns, all kinds of things. We don't need that right now. But what you're going to do is you're going to create a pin for idea pin. You don't want the regular pin. You want an idea pin. These get more reach. This is what you want. So when it comes up, you're going to click this. And then you're going to go to your pin bundle. You're going to click your 1. You're going to let it open. Now you're going to come back here to ChatGPT. You're going to go to the number 1, copy, paste, go back to the description, copy, paste, and then you're going to put your link in here. Okay. And then you're going to pick your board that you want it to go to. You need to have specific boards for your business on your profile. You want to private any boards that are just random stuff. If you have like dream boards and you have like your wedding coming up and you're doing that, or like a baby shower or birthday ideas, private all of them. You want to have 3 to 4 specific to your business, and then you want to have 2 to 3 other ones that are maybe like inspiration or motivation, mindset, that kind of stuff. Like things that people are looking for when you're in that kind of, like you're in that mindset. You're ready to start a business, you're ready to make money. That's where they are. Those are the boards that need to be visible. You can still have those boards, you just need to private them to where they're only visible to you. So for me, I'm just going to go and put these in my Making Money Online. You can add tags if you want. I don't always. And you want to make sure if you have tags that those tags are relevant to the pin. Make sure the tags that you use are relevant to the pin and the business that you're doing. Okay. So you have your title, you have your description, you have your link, you've picked what board it goes to. Now you're going to scroll down. You can pick today's date. For me, I'm going to publish it on the 21st because I have pins all the way up until the 20th. I'm going to pick 12 p.m. That's perfect. Works for me. And then you're going to click schedule. It's going to pop it up a second time and say, hey, is this a specific day and time that you wanted it? And you're going to click schedule. And you're going to do this with as many pins as you want. If you don't want to use Tailwind, specifically stick to Pinterest. That's exactly what you're going to do for every one of your pins. You're just going to pull up the pin. You're going to copy the title from ChatGPT, paste it into Pinterest, go back to ChatGPT, copy the description, paste it into Pinterest, paste your link, pick your board. It usually will save the board after the first time. Add your tags if you're going to add tags. Again, they aren't necessary. You can add them if you want, and then pick the day and the time that you want it to publish. If you're going to have multiple of them, I say have a piece of paper ready to track them. This is how I do it, just to make sure that I have used all of the pins that I wanted to use, where I stop if I'm stopping at a certain point, and what times that I have them scheduled for, so I can keep track of it and keep it organized. So that is how you pin inside Pinterest. Now we're going to go over here to Tailwind. Now, as you can see, I have a ton already scheduled in Tailwind. But I love Tailwind because, one, I can have 1,000 pins each month before it resets. Now, this resets on the 26th, so I can already put more in again. There's also an AI option that you can use AI to help you create inside this. I don't use that option. You can if you want to play around with it. But when you get into Tailwind, you're going to come over here to the original publisher. You don't want to use the new one because there is a feature inside the original one that the new one does not have that I want you to be using. So it's going to show you if you have any pins scheduled, which obviously I do. This is why I like Tailwind because I don't really technically have to keep track of time. Tailwind keeps track of your data. It knows when the best times are for you to post pins, and it's going to slot the pins that you put in here into those times. And every day, as you can see, is completely different. Like Saturday, it has some morning at 10:47, 11:56 a.m., 12:53 p.m., and then 5, 5:33, another 5:33, 9:06 p.m., 9:56. Sunday, it has a 10:47 a.m., 5:53, 7:27, 8, 9, 9, 9:57, and 10:24. It knows when people are on. It knows when to post. So that takes that away from you to not have to worry about it. And it keeps track to tell you how many pins you've posted. So you're going to come over here, you're going to click create new pin, upload photos. You can design them in Tailwind. I don't because it's just, I like to have control over it and do it myself. So I'm going to click all 9 that I didn't use in regular Pinterest. And I'm going to come over here and it's going to upload all 9. You can do as many as you want. I try to keep it like between 10 and 20 just because you're going to have to be copying and pasting. So it just makes it easier for me to keep track. This is how it pulls it up. The drafts to schedule. And you can see where they're all at. So you're going to pick your board name. Okay. Enter pin title. You're going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to copy. Copy the description. Paste. Now, I like to do the titles and descriptions first to get them out of the way before I do anything else. So we're going to do that. Okay. So now I have the next 3 done, and we're going to come down here. We're going to click this. We're going to tell it where it's going. So it's going to go to my stand store. Now I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it over here on all these. Boom. Now, this is the feature that the new publisher doesn't have. Add to communities. Communities in Tailwind is like Facebook groups. So before you start publishing anything in your Tailwinds, you're going to click this little communities tab and you're going to join some communities. So after I pin these, I'm going to take you to the communities. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You're going to do that before you start pinning so you have them in your communities already so you can start pinning directly into those communities. Because you pinning your pins to your Pinterest and to these communities gives those people inside the communities the ability to share out your pins. It will get you more reshares. It's an amazing tool. It's just like Facebook groups, except for it's more efficient and people actually will share more and help you get seen. So you need to be in them before you start pinning so you can do this and make sure you're clicking the original publisher because the new one doesn't have this option. So you want to click these little icons that look like 2 people where it says add to communities. You're going to click that and you're going to click what communities you want to show this pin to. You can do the same ones every time. If you have the paid version like me, you can do as many as you want. You can pin as many times as you want. As you see, monthly submissions, I've already submitted 89, but it's unlimited. So I can do all of them, just one, I can do 4, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to click 4 and click add to 4 communities. I'm going to come over here to this next one and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that they're added to the communities first before I do anything else, because I don't want to forget to do it. And I'm going to add that one just to 3, just because. Now you're going to click add to queue. If you do want to pick the times, you can click this little clock here and you can tell it what date and what time you want it published. This, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to pick the time because Tailwind knows when better than I do. So I'm going to let Tailwind do its thing. So I'm going to click add to queue. And it filled in an empty spot. You see it went over here in that empty spot. Here's an empty spot here on Thursday the 20th. I'm going to click add to queue and let's see if it goes right directly in it. It did, but it also added it to another one. We're going to add to queue. There we go. Now this looks like, oh, there's a smart loop. I have something else set up in here, so it won't put it there, but it's already added it to queue. Like it's thrown it in there for me. It's publishing it for me. I don't have to pick the time. It knows when to do it. And then I'll just go through and I will do the same thing for the rest of them. Super simple. And it'll save your drafts in there. So say like you get busy and you can't finish these right now. Like right now, I'm going to go back to communities. I'm going to click save changes first. And then we're going to go to communities. So now it has my drafts. Now that I've clicked save changes, has all 6 drafts saved, and I can come back to them later. I'm going to click the communities and I want to show you what they look like. So you know why it's important and why I spend the money on Tailwind. 1, because the scheduler, I can schedule every pin for the month. 15 pins a day for 30 days is a lot of pins. Pinterest can't handle that. Tailwind can. And I like to get it done and out of the way. I literally will pick a couple of days before the end of the month and I will sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do all of them, or I'm just going to do pins up until a certain day. Like I sat down on January 30th and I made pins for 15 pins for every day, February 1st through February 20th. So today I sat down and I'm doing the rest of the pins for the 20th through the end of the month. But I'm going to go further than that because I previously made all the pins. All the pins are made. I just didn't pin them or schedule them because I didn't want to. I just wanted to be done. But I knew I had the pins already made, so I didn't have to worry about it. So this is communities. This will be empty at first. You will click find community and you can search that. It'll have different areas of interest and things for you to look into. There's business, there's makeup, there's fashion, travel, there's fitness, anything that you can think of. There's communities for. Stick to your niche. Make sure when you're looking at them, they're all going to have these little graphs. You want to make sure they're green. Now, these two, since I've joined, have dropped down to the yellow. So I still repin in them because I have them. I haven't replaced them, but I will be replacing them because they don't get a lot of reshares. This tells you that the last time somebody reshared in that community was 10 months ago. So people aren't resharing in there a year ago in this one. So I don't want to waste time in that. But this, they're consistently resharing. Perfect. This tells you how many people is there's 102 items submitted and 457 items shared. Like they're doing the thing inside these communities. So when you're in the community, this is what other people are sharing. You can chat with other people in the community over here in this little chat bubble. This will show you all of the new pins. This little blue up here tells you popularity, how many times this pin has been seen between Facebook and Pinterest, and it'll tell you the numbers. And you want to come into these communities twice a week, 3 times if you can, and repin other people's things inside these communities. Why? Because you want them to repin and share your stuff. So you've got to do the same. So this one is great. It's on travel. I have a travel business, so I'm going to put it in my travel and I'm click add to queue, and it's going to add it to my queue. It's going to throw it in there. Now these, when they're like this, you can't share it because it doesn't give you the ability to put a title in there, and you have to have a title on every single one. So just know when you click add to queue, it's not going to let you because you can't do that. You can't add a title. Like there's a title here, but there wasn't a way to do that before. Influencer marketing, that's a great one. I'm going to put education, add to queue. You don't have to do a ton, just do some. This will show me all of my pins that I have pinned into this community, and it'll show how many times it's been viewed. This one has been viewed a total of 20,771 times between Facebook and Pinterest. More on Pinterest than Facebook just because it's Pinterest. So you're going to get more views on Pinterest than in other boards. You can have up to 4 communities. So I just want you to look at these to see this can be a powerful tool. When I wasn't using Tailwind and I was only specifically using Pinterest, my views and my growth tanked. Using Tailwind has exponentially grown my business. I don't take that lightly anymore, and I will not stop using Tailwind because I want to continue my growth with Pinterest because I get random sales and random leads every single day from Pinterest. This is again just showing you my pins so I can keep track of my pins, what's doing good, like what seems to be getting the most reshares. So you can, when you're sitting down to make your pins, make those notes. Okay, the ones that look kind of like this seem to do better. The ones that have this kind of a hook or title seem to fare better than the rest of them do. It's just going to help you in the long run make sure that all of your pins are getting as many views as you possibly can get them. So I know a lot of you want to keep the cost as low as you possibly can, and I get that. But you have to look at the long term of this. If you want to grow quickly and you want to make things happen, you need to invest in things that are going to help your business grow as fast as possible. Things like Tailwind can be the difference in that for you. So you have to kind of look at it. Is it worth it? And this right here is how you know it's worth it. This pin right here has been seen 2 billion times with a B, not an M, a B. And most of them were seen on Facebook, not Pinterest. 2 billion times. And I've had 33 new reshares since the last time I was in this group. I wasn't in this group recently because it's gone down, but since I've been in here, I've had 33 new reshares on just this pin alone. But this traffic is what you want to see. That's incredible. One pin has been seen 2 billion times. That is why I will push every single human, no matter what kind of business you have, to find a way to market on Pinterest. Create those pins, pay attention to what's working and what's not, figure it out and stay consistent. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get clicks and views and growth within days. It's going to take 30 to 60 days to see major growth. But when you start to see it, it's going to be incredible. Like with my Pinterest account, 46.4 monthly viewers right now. Yesterday, it was at 52. The day before that, it was at 57,000. The day before that, it was at 32,000. It's going to fluctuate, but that's an average of about 30,000 people or more seeing my Pinterest pins every single month. Clicking my pins and going and checking out my YouTube videos, checking out my products, checking out my Facebook lives, checking out my TikTok, checking out my Instagram reel, whatever I have it linked to. That's the beauty of Pinterest. Get creative. Don't pin everything to one thing. Pick 3 or 4 different things that you want to focus on. Make 2 different pins, types of pins for each product. So you have 4 products that you're going to focus on. So now that is going to give you 8 pins a day for those 4 products. Link 2 different links for each thing if you can. If not, you're still going to have 4 different links a day. You don't want to have that same link all day, every day. Pinterest doesn't like that. So you want to pin to your Instagram reels. You want to pin to your Facebook lives. You want to pin to your YouTube channel. You want to pin to your stand store, actual stand store. You want to pin to the actual product. You want to pin to your landing page. So if your product is linked on your landing page and it has its own specific link with like stand store, you can send them to your stand store or you can send them to the exact product. Use both links. 1 set of pins for the stand store, 1 set of pins for the product itself. Change it up, see what works. So I hope that this was a huge eye opener for you to see what you can do with your business, whether it's network marketing, whether it's digital marketing, digital products, whether it's coaching, social media management, whether you're an influencer, you have Amazon products, you're a Walmart influencer, anything can be a pin. You can create pins for it all, and you can start growing your business and your views rapidly if you do it right. So now I better see all of you starting your Pinterest accounts and growing, asking the questions, and making sure that you're doing all the things. Remember, if you have any questions, I'm always here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for future trainings to learn all the other things and all the other marketing tips and tricks that I have to help you make money online.